Good evening or late afternoon, everybody. I guess we'll start with our usual introductions. I know we all know each other, but those watching may not. My name is Terry Harmon. I'm serving as Chief Negotiator for the school district. To my left.
Lisa Estevez, Assistant Superintendent, Student Support Services.
Kathy Parandozzi, Director of Student Services.
Mark Howell, Coordinator, Martin County Schools.
Daniel Moore, Director of Curriculum and Instruction.
Sherry Richardson, Director of Professional Standards and Employee Relations.
Hi, Jeff Raymond, Director of Talent Acquisition and HR Operations.
Julie Sessa, Assistant Superintendent of HR.
Susan Rayo, MCEA.
Alec McIntyre, MCEA.
Gary Simmons, Chief Negotiator for MCEA from FEA.
Matt Theobald, President, MCEA.
Lonnie Barch, MCEA.
Kimberly Love, MCEA.
Thank you all for being here. And I know we've created a little agenda. Ms. Gillum's going to pass it out for us. Thank you, Ms. Gillum. And as it's getting passed out, I'll say, as I've said at prior sessions, it's all of our bargaining sessions. So by passing out an agenda, we're not meaning to restrict items by any stretch. So I'll just kind of start by saying I'm glad we could all be here. I know the hurricane, could have been much worse for everybody. So it's always good when we're able to get together and turn it around this quick. So I hope, from a personal perspective, that all of you made it out okay, your property-wise, and it wasn't much of a significant interruption to your lives. With that, again, we're on open items. I know, as everyone at the table knows, there's a separate impasse proceeding, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we discontinue our good faith negotiations. So that's why I put open items. I don't want to presume anything from your perspective or ours. Just really wanted to use, I guess, from ours to start, to just, in case you were not aware, make you aware of documentation that we received from the Florida Department of Education. If Trish, Ms. Gillum, has that too. I'll wait till it's passed out. And if, again, it's a pretty lengthy document, so you'll probably want some time to look at it, but if you had not received it, it was a Florida Department of Education Q&A that was distributed to superintendents, and it just kind of addressed different questions related to the former TSIA salary increases, and wanted to point out one of the Q&As was just really as it relates to question 4, and it was the ability of a school district to distribute TSIA dollars was one of the questions that was included in their frequently asked questions section, and what that requires per the Q&A document is that the growth allocation funds cannot be distributed unless we have in existence a board approved and union ratified plan. And that October 1st deadline, I know we've talked about that in prior sessions and how that would potentially play, has passed. And so that's the directive we got from the Florida Department of Education. If you've not seen it, of course, I'm not going to ask questions. I just wanted to make sure that we made that aware to you. And so really that was our primary focus, I think, right now in terms of open items, was just making sure that we made you aware of that issue as well. So I don't know if you'd like to have any openings or any items you'd like to bring up as well.
I appreciate it. Yeah, we discussed this in length. And in my conversations with my colleagues, I'm aware of the October 1st deadline and try to do my best to reach it. And I'm always 2 for 3. Year in and year out of reaching that deadline, but that's where we are. So, I mean, can't ratify the TSIA and still have issues that are going to impact. So I think that we've done all that we can to satisfy that October 1st deadline. So I just guess we have to move diligently to resolve this impasse procedures. We don't have any other open items to discuss.
And and just so I can be clear too, if since we're all here, just trying to use any time that we have, we know the issues that are presently at impasse that were on the table when the impasse was declared. I think the last really on a financial perspective was the proposal that we had made across the table as it related to how to spend the raise pool. Any alternative thought from your table's perspective as to that proposal, or are you still, from the meeting prior when you gave those three options, is that where you all still are today?
Yeah, I just think that the last proposal that the district made doesn't solve any of the problems for our bargaining unit members. I don't think that our bargaining unit members could use a half a tank of gas. So it's not what we're asking for. Not $23 for all of our bargaining unit members. We think that money could be utilized in a better manner. Like, we didn't even put all of the money that we could into insurance. So if we didn't put the money that we could in insurance, and we did concessions in insurance, the district can find more money. Why aren't we putting it to insurance? Why are we putting it in a half a tank of gas? That absolutely makes no sense to me, and it doesn't solve any of our problems. So I think that we're going to stay firm on the two options that we requested, and I think that the history behind what we're asking for and the financial constraints that we stayed in, I just believe that what we're asking for, options 1 and 2, is beyond reasonable, and it solves a problem. The fourth option that was provided from the district, it increases the amount that was being asked for, and it doesn't solve any of the problems. We put 3.1% in across the board increases. Putting another 1/10% on there doesn't seem fiscally responsible in our opinion. So I think that we're right there. We're not asking to increase our proposals because you guys added a little bit more into the salary pool. We're going to stay firm right where we're at. It's like 26,000?
About 26, 28, right in there.
I think that's a comfortable sweet spot, and it's money that the school board already allocated for raise pool dollars, and we're not asking for another dime. We're just asking to utilize that money to fix a long-standing problem. I just don't understand. Maybe when we discuss it or you guys present it to the arbitrator, I mean, yeah, the special magistrate, I'd have a better understanding. I don't understand why our proposal is so hard to tentatively agree to. Especially when the surrounding counties are all putting 2%, 2.5% into supplements. We aren't putting anything in supplement. That's part of the argument that we're going to have to present to the special magistrate. What are our neighboring districts doing with respect to what we're asking for? And again, I said it in the last time, we didn't put out communications about being number 1 in the Treasure Coast. The school board did. We're just holding you accountable. Everybody else put money to supplements. We're just asking for the school district to do the same and take baby steps. 1% now. Let's look at it next year, see if we can increase it, and the year after that. This contract says that it goes from 2023 to 2026. We're in 2024. We have 2 years to make those gradual improvements, and I think that's where we want to focus at, and not get too far behind the other districts.
paper flipping over here.
All right, take your time.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Which option do you want?
Oh, got it. Aside from that, I mean, what, and again, I'll give you an opportunity, since I just handed you the Q&A document. It, understand the normal process, or not normal process, but the desire is to have the contract addressed wholly. Is there any appetite whatsoever to look at potentially bifurcating this so we can get that TSIA dollars addressed while we continue to work on the rest of it?
Well, I took a pretty good beating from my employer for doing the district a favor. And I'm tired of doing favors and nobody does a favor for me. So I'm not putting my employment on the line to bifurcate the contract when the district doesn't do anything that I'm asking them to do to make things easier. So nah, that's an unfair labor practice. That's why I got chewed out for doing it before. It's an unfair labor practice. I can't continue a precedent of allowing the district to commit unfair labor practices because of timelines that could easily be avoided. I have 2 districts in this very same area that we have no problem meeting those timelines.
You're saying that you believe it's a
I don't
unfair
believe-
labor practice
I know it's
to
an unfair
bifurcate?
labor- I know it's an unfair labor practice. It's not a guess anywhere involved in it. And I think I passed you out paperwork the last time. I'll be more than happy to email it to you, where it specifically says that bad faith negotiation is, an example of bad faith negotiations is bifurcating or bargaining in piecemeal. So those are synonymous terms that you'll find throughout the National Labor Relations Act, as well as our Florida statute, chapter 447.
Okay. Anything further from your end? Any of the other 2 issues that I didn't bring them up. We talked about the supplements and that raised pool fund, but the other 2 were primarily language items. And I know we spent a lot of time, sessions 10, 11, 12 maybe on those. I guess we don't have any change at this time on our end, and I assume you're probably in the same position.
Right. But the ones that you guys still have on the table aren't mandatory subject to bargain. Do we agree on that, or do we have a disagreement with that?
I mean, it doesn't mean I can't bring those issues up to you.
No.
The Western Zone language that is proposed goes directly to some of the language that you have proposed about which members are eligible for the Western Zone. So I think that needs to be clarified. And the presidential leave is a provision of leave. So do that as you will. Interpret that how you may. But that's fine. Guess we don't have any other issues on our end, but didn't want to miss the opportunity to sit down and talk. If there were, even with respect to there being an impasse, if there were still avenues to potentially explore.
Likewise.
Okay. Then I guess we've got nothing further today. I don't think that the impasse questions that we have to address that have been raised to us is not something we do here.
Right.
Yeah, I was just making clear of that. We'll talk about that separate.
Yeah, and
We're good on those.
yeah, I got that clarity just by looking at the agenda. We're
Yep.
on the same page just by what you presented in the agenda. We
Yep,
can have
did.
a off the record conversation. I will move
Yes, it
forward
is
with that.
not. Yep. Okay. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.